Jesus indeed. Peter, let's start with you. You've written a couple of small films, things like Top Gun, Maverick.
Very tiny things, The Town.
Gladiator 2, The Town.
Oh, wow.
But this is all yours. How does this one feel?
Well, it was great. It was great to get to do it with Brian the whole way through. And honestly, this was the most fun I ever had in my life. We sat down at the very beginning. We said, let's just work on this character together. Let's just collaborate on this and just get, I just love making it. I don't really love everything after the fact as much. All of this is fun.
Thank you for coming.
But yeah, but I just love being in it day to day. And there's days where everything's falling apart on the set, and you're the showrunner, you got to put out all these fires and everything, and I just look around and go, I actually love this. This is what I want to be doing the most. So I hope we just get to go right back into the next thing together, because this guy is a dream to work with.
We'll get there. When did you come across this? It's based on a book by Dennis DeFoyer. When did you come across that? When did you think, you know what, there might be something in this?
Well, it was kind of crazy. I mean, this is a shout out to Apple, because Spencer Wong, the executive, just had this book laying around. It was from 2007, I think. And he showed it to me right before COVID. And I just read it. I said, you know what, I think I can pop this as an inciting incident and then just take these characters as far as we want. And then really I was just playing with it over COVID, not knowing whether the show was going to go or not. Just kind of using it almost like worry beads. And you can tell in the vibe. I mean, I know in the intro it says it's a dark show, but it's actually not. It's actually almost a kind of absurdist comedy in some places. So then when Ridley came aboard, all of a sudden we had a show. Brian came on shortly after that. So.
Yeah, you said that you always had Brian in mind. Did you know that, Brian? So when you first spoke to Peter, what was in your head? What were you thinking? You read this book, or you read the script, and there's something to this for me?
It came at such a weird time in my career, because I literally was filming this series called Class of '09, and I was in the middle of the thick of it. So the show takes place in the past, present, and future. So like I was in future prosthetics. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was pissed. I was tired, and I had just wrapped the final season of Atlanta at the same time. And I was like, I think I need a break. I was like, I think I need a break. And my wonderful manager passed the script to me. She was like, well, Peter Craig is doing this show. And I was like, is it TV? She's like, yeah. I was like, no, thank you. I don't know if I'm ready to do. But
is that just because you've done a lot?
Yeah.
Just you, as you say.
And it was also just like, there seems to be this trend where people love to put me through trauma. You know what I mean? Like I'm either being shot at in a bulletproof vest, crying, all this stuff. I was like, why can't I just like own a sandwich shop and be in love? So, like, it's true. This is what I want. And so I read this, man, and I just couldn't stop reading it. And then I heard that they were willing to let me executive produce as well, which I was like, I can't turn that down. But the character of Ray was just so, I couldn't deny him. You know, like there were so many parts of Ray that reflected me, which I try to do with all the characters that choose me. I try to figure out like what my connection to them is. And Ray came at a point in my life where I, you know, really was doing some deep healing, and I saw this character, Ray, just trying so hard to figure out what his trauma was, what his grief was, and also there was just a huge heart to him, and so I couldn't deny it. And then when I met Peter, it was like, well, shit. It's like, you know, so it was an easy choice to make.
Having said that, you do get shot at quite a bit.
Every episode, like every single episode. And I remember talking to you, I was like, so like, what did I do to you?
I remember you thought 6 was going to be your easy, so it's coming out.
There's a whole episode where I don't really speak, but I am.
He's on the
floor.
floor.
This Friday, you'll see what happened. But yeah, no, but I've never been in safer hands than with Peter. Like our collaboration was truly connected in a way that I had never experienced, and I would do anything with this man. I'd go to the moon with this man.
One day someone will write you a
anybody out there, listen, man, like tell your friends, do a Reddit, say that Brian Tyree Henry needs to be in love and own a sandwich shop. I am tired.
But before we get to the sandwich shop, you mentioned that you had sort of this redemption to Ray, because you said it's not a dark show. I would argue it is dark, but also funny at the same time. There are, I mean, even that church scene is dark and quite funny. It toes the line, right, between the two.
Yeah, I think this was the most exciting about shows like this because even when we, my amazing co-star Wagner Mora, we both, I mean, this man, he's just one of the best humans, and not just one of the best actors, but one of the best humans I've ever met. We would have discussions because we were like, well, we know what this looks like. Black and Latino man, drugs, violence, like we've seen this shit. So how is this different? And what we realized, what Peter had kind of conjured up is that deep down it's a love story between these two men who have been incarcerated since they were 15, put in a system that told them they can't be anything, and then released into the world and still trying to figure out what kind of men they want to be. And they just decide to pretend to be DEA agents and rob trap houses. What's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, this is where the love story goes. And just to watch that kind of relationship unfold, because that's something that we hadn't seen a lot.
The story of friendship.
Yeah, like we hadn't seen that kind of intimacy and vulnerability and tenderness, and it required a lot between Wagner and I, who are also trying to shed the personas that people know us as. Like everyone knows us as Pablo Escobar. I came out here and somebody said Paperboy somewhere here, and so it's like I'm just trying, it's like, so we are also like, this gives us a chance to like kind of build a new bridge and show like the tender sides of who we are, and like while also having a lot of violence and drugs. But love is like that. So but that was what we were really excited to do, and that's what Peter elevated.
Yeah, you say we've seen this before. As you say, he played Pablo Escobar in Narcos, black man, Latino man. But this is not like that. You're not very good drug.
We're terrible.
We're not very good at it.
We're terrible at it,
Yeah.
and that's the best part. Like,
It's not planned. They're not masterminds at all.
They accidentally stumbled across this house that turns out to be incredibly important to some very big drug dealers. But it wasn't planned.
To them it's like neighborhood embezzlement,
Yeah.
kind of. It's around, they're gonna just poach a little off of things here and there. They barely plan anything out at all. And that's the joy of watching them. It's actually the opposite of a mastermind story. We have so many things about people who are great at being criminals, great at being drivers, great at being everything else. These are guys that just shouldn't be doing this at all.
at all. Like I said to you, I was like, because they had been in the system for so long, so I was like, well, what are they supposed to do? Go get a job at Chipotle? Like, no one's gonna But then I was also like,
I mean, they'd be mad at that too.
But I was also like, where are they getting these DEA jackets printed? That takes some initiative at the same time. But that is what we thought was most exciting of like watching these guys try to figure it out, trying to do the right thing, but around every corner they're just not great at it.
And they're actually good-hearted people. I mean, they actually have more